What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for Belle Collective. This is season 3, episode 9. So the episode continues where it left off last week with Glendale yelling at Letitia for supposedly being on this stripper that she wasn't even on. But you know, Cliff ran back and told Glenn, so now Glenn trying to channel his inner Cliff. So Letitia calls Cliff outside and was like, please stay out of our business. Do not call Glenn telling him, you know, things that you think that I did. And he was like, well, you know, I think that Glenn has a possessiveness over you. And Letitia's like, okay, well, you have the same for Latrice. But that's not a good thing, basically. And she feels like Cliff is now rubbing off on Glenn because she's seeing some of his ways is starting to shift. So she's not appreciative of that. Latrice comes outside and is like, what's going on? And Tisha tells her, your man is calling Glenn about some things, and you know, he feel like he got you in line, so that's what he's trying to get Glenn to do with me, basically. I'm just, you know, summing this whole thing up. This is not verbatim, but this is basically what she's saying. It was Latrice talking about, where Cliff got me at? Yeah, right where he wants you, because you got to call Zaddy for everything. He got to be at your side at all times, ma'am. So please don't act like you out here running stuff, because Cliff is definitely running you. So it was just weird to me too that Tisha said in her confessional that Cliff and Latrice don't want to see other people happy. I'm gonna need you to wake up, Letitia. You ain't happy with Glenn. You always say that. You feel like you've outgrown him. So where is the happiness between the two of y'all? Just because y'all are temporarily happy because of the passing of his grandmother, that does not fix y'all's real issues. Like, really, Tisha is getting on my nerves with this whole marriage situation between her and Glendale, Lil Bootsy. Brother, I can't. I'm over it. But Marie, drunk behind, come outside. And Latrice is like, girl, you and that fake drink. So then they start talking about fake butts. Latrice is feeling on Marie's butt. Marie is denying that her butt is store-bought. Girl, you cannot tell me that you grew that booty, Marie. Please. Let it go. Let it be. We don't believe you. But everybody seems to be in good spirit at the party. So just like Letitia said, even though the peace treaty didn't go the way that it was supposed to go, the party is obviously bringing them together. So shout out to So Gucci and JJ for throwing them a good party. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, even in the conversation that Cliff and Tisha had, Cliff was like, don't no woman need to be around no man with, you know, I don't know how long the man's penis was, but it was real long. It don't need to be that long. He said if he gonna bring a stripper around, need to be somebody with a 6-inch. Baby, it was insecurities. And Cliff, you was looking at that man's penis real hard, so I'm gonna need you to calm down, because you seem very much so interested in his body parts. So relax. Akisha and her man, they're at their new house, because remember last time I reviewed the show, my DVR was acting up, but it did look like they was in a new place, and Akisha looked like she was in a house chilling. So yeah, she was in fact in a new house. So her and her husband, they're in their new place. He's fixing her some food, and they get down to the Fair Street business. So they're still waiting to hear back. They actually made a proposal to buy out the entire block for Fair Street, or the street, and not just a one building thing. So they're just waiting to hear back. They're a little nervous, but in the meantime, you know, they still have that one building that they're going to bring their coffee shop down to. And because it's the holidays, they have this family ritual. I say family ritual, child. This family tradition where since her last name is Holly, they call it the holidays. It's a mixer that they do during Christmas time. So they actually want to host it down in Mississippi, and actually in the building that they have on Fair Street. She wants to invite some of her friends, some local officials and things, and the Bells. I was like, look, this is nerve-wracking in itself, because then I start thinking about season 1, where they had a local official come by, and then you had the little racist white girl showing her ASS and all of that. It's just like, ooh, child, I don't know. Now, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case, but bringing real professional people to these reality show brunches, nervous instantly. But she feels like the girls behaved at So Gucci's party, so they'll do the same for her event. Girl, good luck. She also said that it's going to be very quick, a little 2-hour event, 6 to 8. By 9 o'clock, they're going to be out of there. Willie is like, well, you know, some of the girls like to show up fashionably late. She was like, well, they ain't going to be able to do that here because once it's done, it's done. I said, okay, now, Ikeisha, I'm a little nervous, but if you got faith in your bells, then have at it. But me, I don't. So, Latrice and Letitia, they go out for a tennis lesson. Letitia wants to do this because she wants to talk to Latrice about, what she say, Stiff Cliff or whatever she called him, in a way that he stepped out of bounds and called Glenn. So they do their tennis lesson, and then they have the conversation about Cliff getting into Latrice's, dang it, their names always get me together, Tisha and Glenn's marriage. She was like, he ain't had no business calling Glenn, especially because Cliff was looking at the man's peen too, and he gave Glenn all these details about it. But, you know, it does not matter what Tisha says. Latrice is going to stand by her man, regardless of whatever. She talking about, we never been to a party where there was a stripper. Okay, that's fine. And just like Tisha said, and in that case, he should have gotten up and y'all both left if they really felt uncomfortable with the situation. But both of them seemed to really enjoy themselves in that moment. They were just putting on for the cameras and acting as if it was something that they didn't enjoy. Whatever. So Tisha don't know what kind of hold that Cliff has on Latrice. You know, she does like to live a certain lifestyle, so she feels like it is the money that's keeping her with him. And it could be. I don't know. You know what I mean? Shoot. At this point, Latrice has her own money, so I don't feel that she needs Cliff. But yeah, we know that he does come from a family of wealth, so maybe his extra money is taking her to the next level that she needs. And then they're buying properties and all of that other stuff together. So I don't know, but Latrice gonna stick by her man regardless of whatever. So ain't nothing that you can say about Cliff that's gonna change her mind. Yeah, she gonna feel like, yeah, he was tripping and blah, 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 but she ain't gonna let you know it. So, yeah, in public, she always gonna stand by her man. Child, whatever. Akisha is with her family. She's with her 2 sisters and her sister cousin. They come over to have a few drinks with her and wind down. Now, she said that she lives very close to her sister, so they don't live too far away from her. And she said that there's a 17-year difference from one of her sisters, her oldest sister, and then there's a 10-year difference between the other. And they're really close and all of that good stuff. So she's telling them about everything that's going down between the mixer that she's throwing, her inviting the Bells out, and how Tambra brought her into the group of Bells because Tambra, they knew each other since high school. And they was like, yeah, Tambra with the annoying voice. Child. Don't nobody like Tambra voice. But did y'all hear somebody throw Marie's name in there? I was like, oh, wait, huh? But yeah, they was talking about Tambra. And she was like, yeah, she's more so like a shit starter. She brought me to the group, but she was also talking behind my back, telling the girls that they need to look out for me and all of that. Yeah, Tambra's definitely sneaky for the moves that she pulled with Ikeisha, trying to act like she was her friend the whole time in the background. She didn't want her in the group chat and all this other stuff, acting like she didn't know what the girls was talking about. Girl, please. Anyway, that's why Ikeisha don't fool with Tambra. And then she was like, with Letitia, y'all, she had the nerve to sit here and say that I stole her idea. And I ain't never even heard of her idea to steal it. But she was like, one of her sisters was like, I mean, if she would have executed her plan, then nobody would have stole anything. Now, the difference is, with Ikeisha, this is literally her storyline. Like I said, we was all side-eyeing Ikeisha when she got on the scene because it was like, ooh, not you didn't came on this show and took over Letitia's vision. Girl, what is this? But then when she had the meeting and the presentation of her vision of Fair Street and all of that, I was like, okay, now this is how you conduct a brunch or a meeting or whatever it is that you was doing, a proposal. It was very successful. It was detailed. It was right on point. It was more productive than we've seen any of the Fair Street meetings that Letitia had done in the past. And now, like I said, this season we're seeing it more where she's actually trying to buy the entire street. She had her proposal put in. She's actually doing the work. So yes, I was side-eyeing Ikeisha and I was not feeling her on her first season last year. but I'm actually here for her. She's actually putting her money where her mouth is and doing what needs to be done to see this vision through. So, I mean, like I said, Belle Collective started off the same way that Love and Marriage Huntsville did. You had the comeback group, you had the Fair Street Project. Two projects that were supposed to come into fruition. They had, a vision in mind for it. They were trying to work together as a team. And then as the seasons progressed and as the episodes progressed, you didn't hear about these projects anymore in the way that they were originally. Because I know that in Huntsville now on this season, they're supposed to be trying to do something with the comeback group. I don't know what, because like I said, I don't watch it anymore. It's just more so me walking into the room where my mom is watching it and I hear bits and pieces. But Belle Collective, yes, they definitely strayed away from the Fair Street Project. But Ikeisha is the one that's holding this thing down and really trying to execute. So I can't be mad at her for that. She told her family, don't be acting funny towards the girls. Because I did invite them. One of her sisters was like, well, it all depends on how many drinks I done had, child. I can't make no promises. Oh, she also mentioned the museum. She said that her grandparents had some pictures in an archive that showed the history of Fair Street, and she wants to have a museum, I guess, make the pictures big or whatever the case may be and showcase them to everybody. So, yeah, she is Miss Fair Street, okay? JJ and Willie, they go out to play pool, and their relationship is growing, and that's kind of obvious because, I don't want to say obvious, but, their wives get along, so they probably spend a lot of time together, but they have very giving hearts and all of that, so they can relate to each other in that aspect. So JJ is catching Willie up on things because he hasn't been around, and JJ started laughing and was like, Glenn want to be a rapper. So this whole time, JJ, you've been hyping Glenn up, I guess just for support. But whole time, you think that this idea is funny. Because the way that he laughed, I said, oh, JJ just be hyping him up just for the sake of it. Just to be supportive, because you really don't see it for Glendale's rapping career. So, yes, Glenn wants to be a rapper because he's trying to get Letitia back. And Willie is like, I really feel like we got enough rappers. So, I think he should find a different way to get his wife back. Yeah. And then he was like, I threw Gucci a birthday party. Got her a special guest. It was a male stripper. And the bells was clapping and slapping, okay? Everybody was getting along. But Cliff goes and tells Glenn about it. It was hilarious when JJ said that Cliff was looking at the stripper more than Latrice was. And we seen that on camera. JJ is so funny to me. At first, I could not stand JJ. I felt like he was just an attention seeker, but this is who he really is. This is really who he is, and now I find him so funny. But anyway, yeah, he got a problem with Cliff, obviously, and he just feels like Cliff is in the mix a little too much. He already got beef with the whole house selling thing. But yeah, Willie was like, where was my wife when this stripper was out? And he was like, oh, trust me, she wasn't even near the man, so you ain't got to worry about that. But yeah, Willie said, I don't know if I'm gonna be around too much because Glenn want to be a rapper. You bringing strippers around, I don't know. It was a joke, but it was a cute little scene, Tisha meets up with Tambra, and I'm gonna just say this, Tambra, leave Tisha alone, because at the end of the day, she not your friend. Did y'all hear as Tambra is trying to get out how she felt about it? Tisha just keeps saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're not even trying to hear her out about how she feels about the situation. You're over talking her and showering her with sorries. No, ma'am. And then you go and say, if I would have knew, I would have never. Knew what? Had you known what, you would have never done what? Meet up with him? Tambra said when y'all was at the break room that she told you about this man. And I understand that you feel like you can't trust the things that Tambra says, and you feel like you're an open book with her, but she's not like that with you. Then that's when you assess the situation and you step back. You stop telling her so many things, and you take the relationship for what it is. That does not mean that you meet up with her allegedly abusive exes and all of that. Hi. Yeah, my nephew just came in here. He just woke up. But yeah, that does not mean that you meet up with her ex. So then you're trying to like basically force her to forgive you. You forgive me for meeting up with him? Girl, please. I will be through with you. Tambra, be done. Because Tisha, she can't be trusted either. So Ikeisha's event seems to go pretty well. I was a little apprehensive, especially because they were waiting on Letitia to get there, and she hadn't shown up yet. And Marie pointed out how Ikeisha and Tisha got some problems. And Ikeisha was like, girl, don't be trying to stir up mess, because, hell, I don't fool with Tambra and she here. So they waiting on Letitia to get there, but it looked like it was a success. You know, she brought her family. She brought some locals there. I think like a director of the community and all of that. So it looked pretty successful. So then Tisha gets there, and then she greets everybody. And she greets Cliff and was like, I don't know about all that. And Marie was like, what you mean you don't know about all that? Is it me, or did it seem like Miss Monroe was definitely trying to get the party started a little bit in certain points? But, you know, they really don't know about each other because of the whole Cliff telling Glenn that she was being disrespectful with the stripper and all of that. So they feel Akisha in, and Akisha was like, like, not you got me defending Letitia. She wasn't even by the stripper, so what's going on? And yeah, that was another thing that stood out to me in the conversation that Cliff had with Tisha at the party, when he was like, she needs to be the wife that Glenn wants her to be, or needs her to be. Are you kidding me? He can't be the husband that she needs him and wants him to be. It's comical the way that some men think. It's actually pretty pathetic. But anyway, yeah, so they really ain't feeling each other, and Letitia is like, how dare Cliff have an attitude? If it's anybody should have an attitude, it should be me. So the girls start having conversation about certain things, and Marie was saying that Cliff and Latrice are two insecure individuals, and Latrice comes up as she was saying that and hugs everybody, including Marie, and they head out. And it does look like Latrice is trying to move past things with Marie, but Marie is stuck in the past. I feel like they could really get along if Marie just kind of lets go a little bit. But at the same time, I understand she was, you know, coming for your business and all of that, so you can't trust her. I understand that, but it seems like Latrice is trying to be cordial, and then there's times where Marie is trying to be cordial with Latrice. So it's just like they play back and forth so much. It's just like whatever. But Latrice says bye to everybody, and her and Soguchi, Marie and Soguchi was like, you know why she leaving? Because she want to go before he start acting a fool. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. This episode was okay. It wasn't bad. It was definitely a little fillery, but like I said, I'm not mad at it. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Excuse the energy. Y'all probably can hear it. I'm still a little congested. So I just wanted to hurry up and get this out to y'all because it's Wednesday and Friday is in 2 days, honey. It's late. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.